everyone, it's Jayla, and today I'm doing the stay-at-home book tag, which I should have done like a long time ago because that's when it was relevant, but also because I was tagged for the first time ever. Thank you, Whiskey on my Kindle, for tagging me, and then I just like procrastinated doing it. Sorry, it's not that I didn't want to, I don't know. But anyway, Whiskey on my Kindle tagged me. I really appreciate it. If you don't already subscribe to her, she's really hilarious to me. I think her content is really entertaining and I could listen to her talk about books all day. So please go give her some love. So the first prompt is laying in bed, a book you could / have read in a day. And for this I chose To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I think this series is just really adorable. It's one of my favorite ever. It is on the favorite shelf in the back here. I remember not really enjoying this book when I first picked it up and like was thinking, oh, Laura Jean is so childish. She's so like, no one actually like talks like this. No one cares about their sisters as much. As someone with 2 sisters, I can say that. But then she really grew on me, and Peter Kavinsky's everything, and just I really understand a lot of where Laura Jean is coming from in this series. So these are definitely books that like, they're so cute and fun and fast-paced that you can just kind of read them in one day, and I definitely have and will continue to do so in the future because I hope to reread these a lot. So the next one is Snacking, a guilty pleasure book. For me, I don't really think I have guilty pleasure reads. There's nothing that I'm really like, I feel like I have to justify why I'm reading it. I think the closest I can come to that is the Winter's Curse trilogy, which is one of my favorite trilogies, also on the shelf, but it's on the difficult part where you can't really get anything out, so I'm not going to take it out. So I say that because these books, like, there's an enslaved person, and then there's a person who's like a part of the oppressive people. That I'm not explaining this well, but basically there's a white girl and then there's a person of color who is enslaved and basically serving the oppressing class, which is the white people. And I think it's a little bit just, you know, it's like, oh, like we're doing a slave love story, that's weird, but like at the same time it's so much more than that, and it's not like Aaron is, I don't know how to say this. Basically, it's, I really enjoy the series, even though sometimes I'm like, oh, should I really like this because of like some of the themes in it. But like, it's not promoting slavery or anything. I just want to be extra clear on that. It's not saying that slavery is good or that like the people who were doing the enslaving are justified in their actions at all. It's just like, but yeah, so that's my whole guilty pleasure thing. It's like this could be construed as a bad thing, and I don't want people to think that I, a black woman, care for that, because I don't. But yeah, that was a really rambly and awkward and stuttery answer, but that's my answer. Moving on. The next one is Deep Clean, which is choose a book that's been on your TBR for ages, which a lot of them have, and I definitely could have chose a better book for this answer. I'm not sure why I chose this one, except that I have a lot of books on my TBR that I need to read, and so I don't know, I'm not trying to call myself out. So anyway, I chose The City of Brass by S.K. Chakraborty. I have really wanted to be reading this. Ignore that the dust jacket is not on it. I did that for the aesthetic, you know? I really want to read this book, and it's been on my shelf for, I want to say 2.5 years or so. Definitely not the oldest book that I haven't read that I own, but it's definitely one that I keep saying, I really want to read this, and then I just haven't picked it up yet. I believe the 3rd book comes out this year actually, so it would be cool if I could just do the whole trilogy, but I didn't want to buy the 2nd and 3rd book until I know that I like this one, so I really need to just get on reading this one. I have been in kind of a fantasy slump this year though, so I don't know how soon I'm gonna get to it because I really just haven't been reading fantasy. The next one's, ooh, my voice got really high. The next one is Animal Crossing, a book you recently bought because of hype. What did I choose for this one? For this one I have 2 books. I recently got a Book of the Month subscription. I probably will not be keeping it long term, I don't know, but I really wanted to get Mexican Gothic, but that's not the book that I bought because of hype. I found that on my own. The one I did get because of hype was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This book has been all over everyone's bookstagrams, and I've seen it all over Twitter and stuff, And so I was like, yeah, I would want to read this. It's about these twin sisters. One is dark skinned and one is light skinned, basically white passing. And they end up leaving their small town, and after some time they split up from each other and go and live different lives. And then one day one of the twins comes back to the town, and there's like some questions in the air because everyone wants to know what happened and what happened to the other sister, and details how one chose to live as a white person and the other chose to live as a black person. So I'm not showing you the right side. Okay, so yeah, I really am interested in reading this, and thank you to the internet for putting it on my radar. The other book that I bought though was Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I bought this because it's just really popular on BookTube. People talk about it all the time and they say it's really cute. And I was like, I want to feel cute. No, I want to feel cute feelings. I don't know. Everyone says that they love this book and the series, and I just wanted to start it. So I recently bought it, and yeah, they were right. This is amazing. I love it so much. I felt so many feelings while reading it, and so much sadness because I just need this kind of relationship. Next is Productivity, a book you learned from or that had an impact on you. For this one, I chose The Alchemist. I read this in April or March? April, I think. I read this in April. Actually, I think I read this for the stay-at-home readathon. So that's cool, like how it comes back. And this book was really inspiring in a very small way. I learned that like your journey is just however long it needs to be, and you never really stray from your journey. You're always working towards it, but sometimes you just take super long breaks. Sometimes you need to take that long break to remind you of what you're really fighting for. The next prompt is FaceTime, a book you were gifted, and for me, I have so many books I could share. No, I don't, I have 3. So one of them would be Golden Sun. I should have grabbed that one, but I didn't. So I didn't grab Golden Sun. I got Red Rising on accident, but it's fine. My friend Cindy got me Golden Sun to help me complete a challenge, so thank you, Cindy. Then my friend Lisa got me Little Fires Everywhere as a gift because I was too lazy and cheap to get it for myself, so thank you, Lisa. And then finally, my friend Sarah got me this little blind date book that came from a little Etsy shop, and that was really sweet of her. This came for my birthday. She left me a little note. It said, "Happy 22nd birthday to my favorite book lover. I hope you enjoy reading this blind date." I'm saving opening it for my next book haul, but I just wanted to show that off here because look at this cute packaging. I love it. Oops, I skipped one on accident. I missed Netflix, a series you want to start, and for that I could choose anything. I'll say the Chaos Walking trilogy because this is one that I've recently acquired all 3 books in it, and I just need to get started on it. Then I have The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski, which is the short story collection that kind of introduces us to the Witcher universe, which I'm actually reading for the reading rush. Ever since I watched the Netflix adaptation of this, I've really been wanting to read this series, so I'm glad that I can get started on that soon. The next one is Self-Care. What is one thing you've done recently to look after yourself? And at first I couldn't really come up with an answer for this. I didn't think I'd really been doing any self-care practices, but I've noticed that I'm definitely watching a lot more shows that I've already watched during lockdown. At the beginning of lockdown, I was watching Community over because it had just come to Netflix, and I was like, not only do I have to not sit through horrible ads on Hulu, but I love this show and I get to watch it all over again, which is great. So I've been doing a lot of Community watching, and recently I decided I was going to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender again, which I haven't watched since I was probably like 10 or 11. It's been a really long time. And I can say safely that the show still holds up, which makes me really happy, although those first few episodes are rough, but it's, you know, the beginning of a series, so it makes sense. But I've definitely been doing a lot of rewatching. So finally, the last prompt is to name a book that's coming out soon. All the books that I know are coming out are ones that are coming out later in the fall. It's only July right now, so I kind of wanted to do one that's more recent, and I didn't want to go randomly looking for just a book that I'm not really excited about. So I'll talk about one that just came out. This book came out on the 14th, and it's The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I heard about this from Seiji from Artisan Geek. I love watching her, and I definitely trust her opinions, and she kind of said that this was something that she was really excited to read, so I had put it on my TBR. And honestly, don't know too much about it. I know that it's a horror novel that focuses on Native American folklore and like talks a lot about identity. And then inside the dust jacket, it actually calls Stephen Graham Jones the Jordan Peele of literature. So it's basically one of those horrors that has social commentary, which I love. I want to see more of that. I'm sure there are lots of that I'm just not cultured enough to know about yet. So actually, if you have any recommendations for movies like that, please let me know, or books like that as well, because I want to read and watch both of those things. So this is what I'll say for coming out, because it just came out. And I'm really excited to read this one. I honestly wanted to change up my Reading Rush TBR to fit it in, but I had to stick to my Read Books theme, so I'll read it right after Reading Rush if I can. Okay, so those are all the books that I wanted to talk about for this tag. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't research who did this tag and who hasn't done this tag yet, so I'm just gonna say anyone who's watching who hasn't done it yet, feel free to do it. As you can see, I'm really not prepared for this, but that's fine. I'll be better for the next tag. I hope you have a great day or night, and I will talk to you in another video soon. Goodbye. Lang, so